Okay, so it seems like recently there's been some VTubers who've been calling out some kind of behavior that's been going on over on the platform lately, especially regarding viewbots. Now, viewbots is something that we've discussed quite a bit over on this channel, including the fact that, many people do get viewbotted still today, despite everything that Twitch is, in quotation marks, done to combat this. And, well, a lot of this is due to, sponsors and things. A lot of sponsors like to bot streams to essentially get them to the top of the pages and to get them recommended and to get their game out mostly. They don't care about the streamer doing good. They care about how much kind of exposure their game is going to get to a lot of people by the people that they specifically want, rather than obviously people that are just playing the game, right? And I do think that this is a pretty common tactic that is used by companies, but also there are some people as well in the background who do just straight up viewbot and just buy viewbots just to get popular. And almost similarly to what the game companies do, they do it to get to the top of the pages, not to get exposure for the game or whatever they're promoting or the sponsor they're promoting, right? It's actually to get promotion, obviously, for themselves. And well, there's been this recent thing made by Grimmie, a VTuber who averages around about 1 to 2k-ish, somewhere around in that mark. And essentially they put out this message saying, "Hello, Sodapoppin. I apologize for needing to ask, but could you correct on stream that I do not use chatbots? The original author of the tweet has a reply clarifying it was likely a third party in this instance, but your comment on stream is leading to misunderstandings," which, yeah, obviously could be a pretty detrimental to someone's kind of rapport and stuff in the community. If you've got someone as big as Sodapoppin, if you guys don't know who Sodapoppin is somehow, obviously he's a huge streamer, used to be very closely associated with OTK. I don't know how much he's associated with them now, but again, very, very big. Obviously, he's with Bay, at least last time I checked. I don't know if they are still together or whatever, but again, very, very big. And he's been on stream essentially going through this one account, which is called Viewer Metrics, which has been essentially exposing people for having view bots and things. And I'm assuming Grimmie was on here somewhere. It doesn't actually show it in this clip, but yeah, obviously the Viewer Metrics account also clarified further down that it was likely due to a third-party instance, which is probably one of the hardest things whenever it comes to identifying view bots, right? Because again, you never know if it's from a third-party source and it's someone that is doing it to them. Either A, some people do it to make them look bad. I mean, some people genuinely use bots to try and out them as a botter, when in actual fact it's some hater that is obviously sending bots their way to kind of frame them into being that, right? But also it could be a company that is either they're being sponsored to play a game, or in a lot of cases, for example, like Genshin and the gacha space, right? A lot of those companies tend to just viewbot their streamers anyways whenever they're playing, not a specific sponsored stream, just in general, just to make their viewership look bigger. So again, that could also be the case. There could be so many other cases to this happening. And obviously they continue saying, "A ton of friends have sent me this clip, and I just wanted to make sure this isn't going to be something I'm known for, since I'm very much against this sort of thing." And the person tweeted, hasn't even commented it wasn't me. Said, "I think Soda was just reading the post made by Viewer Metrics." Said, "Yeah, it's just that they immediately clarified in that post in a reply which he didn't read, so he just said my name and skipped it all. Kind of sucks." Which, yeah, I do think is true. Said it's hard to prove who is sending the bots. Even top streamers have been found to at least have 10% be bots. It could be from a fan trying to support them or a hater trying to get them banned. At this point, it's not the streamer's fault unless they seem like they would do it. Said, "I get that, but I don't. Have not, will not, and would take action to ask Twitch to stop it if it should happen. It looks horrible and lowers sponsors' trust in everyone. I'm mega annoyed there's a clip going around with no context now. Just frustrated," which, yeah, I do think is 100% a little bit weird, right? And I don't think it's entirely Sodapoppin's fault. I also think the way that Viewer Metrics has actually displayed this tweet, if they did clarify it in the replies, right, it can lead a lot of people like Sodapoppin just to read the first post, not go into more detail or further details about the post, and just, make up the opinion of, "Oh, Grimmie does this, so they must, be a viewbot or whatever," which obviously is not the case. And I do think that, that is something that maybe Viewer Metrics should work on. And I know obviously it gets clicks and stuff to say, "Oh, hey, this guy's a viewbotter," and then they put in small text, but actually it could be third party, right? Again, it does seem a little bit disingenuous to me. I feel like it is trying to get those clicks, right? But again, That's just how Twitter works, right? And yeah, viewer metrics have also made some on other VTubers as well, which I kind of wanted to talk about. And I've been wanting to talk about this for a while anyways, because we have talked about this before in a previous video about Shylily and a blue resonance, I forgot what it's called, blue protocol style resonance, whatever you want to call it. She did a stream, I'm pretty sure it was sponsored, right? And that was heavily view botted, and it's very, very obvious. And I think, you know, a lot of people were trying to call out Shylily or whatever, saying that she was view botting. Again, it wasn't the case. I think she was being view botted, obviously, I think by the company itself, the game that she was playing, which again, obviously can be just randomly done, or it can be predetermined. Again, sometimes it's, you know, decided between the streamer and the company. Sometimes it's not. It's totally random, and it's really hard to know this kind of stuff. That's why this debate is so hard. Obviously, they say here that Shylily has apparently 1,900 bots detected. They say 1,350 entered after 20 minutes. The rest entered when category switched to gaming. There was a raid at 5 hours by another botted streamer using the same service. This caused an overcorrection in the bot provider's software. So yeah, apparently that happened. They said, how do you figure it out if it's a real viewer or a bot? They say account creation dates are used in the extension, as it has proven to be the best indicator. Further analysis will show every one of those accounts follow up to 2,000 follow botted streamers, as these are both view and follow bots. So what's the point of all of this data if you can never prove any of these streams are paying for bots or are aware of botting themselves? Just to bring light on the situation that botting exists, is there more Twitch can do to stop botting? Said they succeeded for 2 days in August and September. The idea that every bot provider adapted within such a time that Twitch can no longer suppress bots seems far-fetched. It is more likely they were trial runs and have discontinued efforts. So yeah, that's obviously in regards to how Twitch have been handling bots. It seems like it's not working. Now, again, as I said, I don't think it is Shylily at all that is doing this, and I don't think, you know, there is some big, like, scandal going on in the background like this person is trying to make it out to be. Now, obviously, I do think there is a big view botting problem, whether that is due to, you know, outside sources or whatever doing this, but again, it is something that I guess needs to be considered. Now, also, I think as well, you know, you got to take a lot of this information with a grain of salt, because again, it is a random account that has been popping off lately. They've got around about 2,000 followers, and they've been followed by quite a lot of big people. But again, as I said, you got to be very skeptical with this kind of information, especially whenever you look at other pieces of information to kind of cross-reference it. I've been looking at some of Shylily streams, right? All of them have been getting around a consistent amount. Obviously, there is the blue protocol resonance one, which popped off a little bit too much with the 18k there. Obviously, yeah, 100% might have been botted, or might again, I don't know if it was like a big raid. Like, again, I don't think that was a big raid. Maybe it was, but I doubt it. It feels like it was botted there. So again, that obviously was due to a sponsor. That sometimes happens. That's a normal thing within the community at the moment, even if it isn't really, you know, necessarily allowed on Twitch. But again, you know, if you go to just another stream, right, you can see the users and the viewers are actually, you know, very different. Usually for a botting streamer, the viewers would be much higher and the users would be below the viewer kind of, what do you call it, list, right? But again, that is not the case. You can see the users are actually higher than the viewers, which suggests that there isn't any botting going on. It suggests that actually she's got less viewers than are actually there, right? And the same goes for this. Sometimes it does go a little bit under, but again, sometimes it goes under for a lot of streamers, and you can see sometimes it does it. But again, as long as there's nothing like egregious, usually it means there isn't a problem. You can see it's very, very close. And yeah, I think that is essentially just how it goes, right? And yeah, we're also looking at people like Grimmie, for example. She's the exact same in terms of this. And yeah, you can see here, this is the same. The users are much higher than the viewers. And that is just a, you know, a good way to see it. This is over on Twitch Tracker, by the way. So again, you have that kind of, I guess, alternate, what you call it, like information sources, right? If you compare them. Obviously, from this information source, it doesn't look like there is much going on apart from that one stream that we looked at from Shylily. But on this, obviously, it looks like there's much more going on. So I think it is, you know, just kind of up to you to think about it, you know, take in a lot of the information, because, again, it can get pretty confusing, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think any of these people are viewbotting on purpose or actually at all, to be honest. I don't think any of them doing it to kind of promote themselves, whatever. I do think a lot of it tends to be kind of sponsor driven and things. But obviously, if there's more information that comes out that, you know, further proves it, because again, it is very hard to prove for any of these people, not just to Grimmie and Shylily, by the way, so many other people as well on the platform that do it or allegedly do it right. It's like impossible to prove it anyway. So again, I just don't think it's worth going into it too much. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. Hopefully, Sodapoppin does provide an apology. Again, it doesn't seem like he's replied or anything to this, but it can be pretty frustrating. I understand getting this amount of kind of, I guess, people coming over and saying, "Are you viewbotting? Are you viewbotting?" I can't imagine that's a very fun thing to go through. So hopefully that goes a little bit better for Grimmie. And yeah, I mean, that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaz to get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff. They've got this new pixel kind of thing coming out very, very soon. I think it's literally today that it's coming out. It looks sick, by the way. They got this cool jumper thing. Again, it'll be up on screen. It looks absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend you guys go get that. Again, you get 10% off using code Kaza. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.